So we are talking about inequality amongst women, and we watched a TED Talk by Lima Gaboui, and she basically told a story about um, young girls that she'd met in Africa that um, had experienced a lot of issues, and so that's what we're going to talk about today.
I thought it was interesting how in the beginning she started talking about these young women who'd come and talk to her, and she eventually ended up denying them. Um, and I think that kind of worked on her so much that she eventually felt like she needed to do something about it. And she eventually was the leader in the protest against the dictator, and kind of started that women's movement in Africa. And now she's trying to start it over in America. And she referenced helping people in New York and New Jersey and other places around the United States. And so I thought that was a pretty important um, principle, that those things don't just go away when we experience them, but they're usually what define who we are and what we can become.
A thought that I had was, I feel like we don't readily recognize how much inequality there really is. Um, because, here we are, college students at UI Idaho. And the reason why we're here is because I'm sure we have enough money and the means to be here. And so we probably don't have as many, we don't have the rough background that many of those people had. And so I feel like we don't recognize it as much. And I liked this video because it brought that to our attention. Because I don't really think of that happening in the world as much because it's not around me. And so I guess it was just a good reminder that it's still going on and we can be a part of that movement.
No, and going along with what you guys said, I'm really glad that she brought up reaching out to people, even in the U.S., because even though we do have as women, we have a lot of rights, and our lives are so much better than a lot of these people, especially she was talking about in Libya. But it still happens. There's still so much that we can do, and there's still so much we need to work on. And it's always important to bring that up and to make that known, because I feel like too many people just don't feel like that's an issue. That's something that we need to address. And yeah.
And something that I thought was interesting, the solution that she gave was that we need to just give women more space. She talked about how they got into the classroom, and when she did that in Africa with, I think she said 300 students, it unlocked that key of knowledge, unlocked other attributes, leadership qualities that these women have, but they're just suppressed because of the inequality and the other things that are happening to them in their country. And so I think the greater the space, or in our terms, we would say the greater the ability to choose or agency, the greater kind of chance for growth that these women will get. I think that's one thing good about our church, is it gives women space. A lot of people will say women in our church don't have a lot of space, they don't have a lot of responsibilities, but they have a lot. They have the largest women's organization in the world. And so I think that's the key principle that is being applied in these situations, and that's what Lima's main point is that she wants to get women more space.
I love how she talked about the key of being education. That was one of the major things. One of the overarching themes was how all of those girls wanted to be educated. And I was just like, it's true, when you have education in your society and it's promoted, that's when real success begins. And it's not until you, like you were saying before, once you give them space. And she said that once you get them to sit down and just be still and to learn and become educated, you unlock intelligence, you unlock knowledge, you unlock ideas, you unlock growth. And that's really, I think, something that I really liked that she talked about, was the importance of education amongst all of these girls, because that's what brings them success. How did that?
Yeah, I know, and I think it ties into a really great celestial perspective in that, women are such an important part of this whole process. Men and women need to work together, and we need to work on empowering women, because, that's when we're really going to hit that stride, and we're really going to be successful just in life in general, when we can open up those opportunities to women and allow them to have greater voice in society. Because we have so much to offer, and we have so much to give, and it really, I look at it and I'm like, Satan must really hate women. We must really be powerful if he's working so hard to tear us down and to suppress us so much all over the world.